Even though him, I want to live in Newcastle, but the 3 years to 4 years left on his contract makes it difficult. And some of you say, oh, Arsenal should show ambition by paying what it takes. Let's not be silly. What do you mean by pay what it takes? 200 million, 250 million, 300 million for a single player. Don't be, even Real Madrid cannot get ISAK from Newcastle. Can we stop this gaslighting and misrepresenting things and misleading a lot of ignorant fans? Even Real Madrid cannot get, even Man City cannot get ISAK from Newcastle because they do not have to sell, because their owners are rich, because they won't flinch. And ISAK is not English. He doesn't have any attachment to Arsenal. Welcome and welcome to the present. Guys, do me that kind of favor, like the video, subscribe, and make sure you turn on your notification bell. Very, very important. Alexander ISAK. Like, there's no argument from me, because people like to put this, is arguably the best striker. He is the best striker in the English Premiership. Now, some of you are just score more goals than Haaland. I understand that conversation, but let's be sensible. Let's be sensible and reasonable. We've seen the combination play, the goals, the kinds and the types of goals, the quality of goals, the dribble, the flicks, the tricks. He can play with the team, individual brilliance, moment of brilliance, headed goals, left foot, right foot, leaving defenders on their bum, the best of defenders. You cannot take it away from this guy. He's, for me, the best striker in the Premier League at the moment. At the moment, even last year, I remember having this conversation with a friend of mine, with a Man City fan, who was telling me Haaland is better. No, Haaland scores more goals, yes, at the moment, but does he have the X factor of Alexander ISAK? Does he have the individual brilliance of Alexander ISAK? No. And I will love to have him at Arsenal. A lot of Arsenal fans, these are top choice, but it's a pipe dream. It's a pipe dream. Let's call it spade. Let's call it for what it is. Right? Newcastle ain't going to sell him. Especially when they say like 3 to 4 years left on his contract. Newcastle don't have to sell. Newcastle are not richer than Arsenal. They are not a more prestigious club than Arsenal, but their owners are richer than Arsenal owners. And they don't have to sell. See, what makes it difficult? That's why I like to do stream like so we can tell ourselves the truth. What makes it more difficult? That Newcastle don't have to sell. Their owners are not willing to sell. They can afford to run his deal down to the last year, and they will not flinch. They can. And they've tried to tempt him by bringing other quality players. Newcastle are on a rich vein of form recently. They're playing well and they're winning games. Even though him, I want to live in Newcastle, but the 3 years to 4 years left on his contract makes it difficult. And some of you say, oh, Arsenal should show ambition by paying what it takes. Let's not be silly. What do you mean by pay what it takes? 200 million, 250 million, 300 million for a single player. Don't be, even Real Madrid cannot get ISAK from Newcastle. Can we stop this gaslighting and misrepresenting things and misleading a lot of ignorant fans? Even Real Madrid cannot get, even Man City cannot get ISAK from Newcastle because they do not have to sell, because their owners are rich, because they won't flinch. And ISAK is not English. He doesn't have any attachment to Arsenal, to an English club. He doesn't know how to keep up with force to force a move out of Newcastle. Doesn't. And there's no release clause that we're aware of. Maybe there's a release clause somewhere that might come later. But right now, there's no release clause that we're aware of. So how are you going to get out of Newcastle? So when people are saying, oh, Arsenal should go and do the deal, go and push the boat on Newcastle, pay the money, what do you see? I don't like open-ended statement like pay the money. How much are you talking about? Because you get this AFTV cronies shouting, just go and pay the money, show ambition. Like, come on. Like, it's silly. How? Are you going to pay 300 million for Alexander ISAK? You can't. You can't even afford that. It's not even reasonable to do that, no matter how good he is. And I said, he's the best striker. See, ISAK in that Arsenal team, jeez, we will cook. We will score a lot of goals. We will win the league easily, even the Champions League. Even plus the so-called injury records out. I myself, I'm guilty of, I was overly sometimes estimating. Now it looks like he's not as bad as I actually thought. He will still score a lot of goals for Arsenal. He will fit into how we'll play, our style of play, how we deliver, and he still has the individual brilliance and he's still developing. But unfortunately, that long-term contract signing with Newcastle is a major stumbling block. I'm not saying it's impossible, but is it probable? I don't like to deal with possibility. Like I like to deal with what is probable. It's not probable that we can get it from Newcastle for the next 2-3 years. I don't think so, because Newcastle are not going to be willing to sell, even though he might be stalling. But I say might, because when we hear contract negotiations, we don't know what's going on. So I don't want to gaslight myself to thinking he's stalling because of Arsenal. No, he might be just trying to negotiate what's good for him. So I don't want to overly prop the fact that he might want to come to Arsenal, which is he might actually want to come to Arsenal. But at the same time, if you guys say, okay, if you're going to sign a certain new contract on these terms, that will keep you to the last year. So as much as I want him, a lot of Arsenal want him, and Arsenal fans want him. I'm sure the hierarchy, we've heard that is the first choice on Mr. Mikel Arteta's radar. Sorry about that. But is it viable? Is it doable? I don't think so. So that's why I call it a pipe dream. I want him, and Arsenal is ambitious. They would like to get him, but your ambition that's rooted in reality. You can't just be ambitious on things that you cannot get. There are things you cannot get, and there are things that is out of your control. And getting ISAK, for me, is out of our control, especially with the owners of Newcastle, the length of contract still left on his deal. It makes it almost impossible. I say almost impossible because there's a 2% chance. That's what I'm not saying it's impossible. So there's a 2% chance. That's it's almost impossible. And if you look at it realistically, it's impossible to, like, I can't see I'm missing the words. So maybe we have to look for alternatives. There might be under young Alexander Isak, in my opinion, we can scout and get elsewhere. But for this one, it will take a ridiculous amount of money and him kicking up a fuss, which I don't think it will come to that, for Arsenal to get him out of Newcastle. Because Newcastle will be comfortable laughing and saying, okay, let's see what you can offer. And they can continue to move the goalpost, especially if there is no release clause. We've not had any release clause on his contract, so it makes it extra difficult. So do not let these content creators gas you up. Arsenal fans are, Arsenal should be able to do it. Nah, be sensible. Look at the whole situation and be reasonable. I don't think we can get him. I want him. I want Arsenal to get him, but let's be sensible. I don't think we can get him. If you disagree, give me the logical reason why you think this deal is doable for Arsenal. Let me know. Give me, you are free to disagree with me, right? But back it up with something sensible, not some emotionality. Back it up with reasons and factual evidence that Arsenal can do this deal. Let me know. I don't think we can at the moment, because length of contract still remaining. Newcastle don't need to sell. It's an important player for them, so it makes it extra difficult. Like the video on your way out, very important. Subscribe if you're new here, and make sure you turn on your notification bell, very important. I'll see you guys on the next one. Keep supporting us now. Bye-bye for now.